Okay, this video is a brief introduction of DSE. It shows the details about DSE and hopefully you will have a better preparation after viewing this video. Okay, so let's get started. There are 4 papers in DSE. Paper 1, reading, 20%. Paper 2, writing, 25%. Paper 3, 30%. Okay, the largest percentage. On paper 4, there are 2 parts. SBA 15%, school-based assessment, and 10% oral exam, so total 25%. Okay, there's another table for it, including the weighting for each paper and the duration. Okay, please check these carefully. So now let's talk about paper 1. Paper 1, there are 2 parts. Part A, 10%, and Part B, also 10%. For Part A, it's compulsory, so everyone needs to complete it. Okay, so the level of difficulty is moderate and suggested time 30 to 40 minutes, so you can time yourself if you're having your own practice. Okay, for Part B, there are 2 parts, Part B1, Part B2, so please choose one of them. Okay, B1 definitely easier. Okay, so you are suggested to spend about 30 to 40 minutes for this part. The highest level you can attain if you take B1 is level 4. So if you just want to secure a level 4, you can consider taking B1. If you want to have level 5 or above, you should choose B2. B2 more difficult, and normally it takes about 40 to 50 minutes to complete the paper. So you should start to prepare that now. I will talk about some sources of reading passages. Most of the reading passages are written or adapted by examiners. Okay, but they do have examples where the reading passages are taken from some magazines or some websites. I'll show you some examples. Okay, this is one example. This is 2013 DSE paper paper 1 part A. The title you see here, Terracotta Warriors in color. If you don't know, I think this picture will tell you what terracotta warriors are. Okay, so look at the title. It's exactly the same with an article published in 2012, a year before, and in National Geographic magazine. Okay, there's a link can direct you to this page. So you can look at the first sentence with the first sentence in the passage. Exactly the same. Actually, everything is the same. So this is one example, and let's see another example. Okay, so this one is 2013 DSE paper 1 part B2. It's about dystopian literature. The title is exactly the same with an article published in 2011, 2 years before, and in New Yorker magazine. Okay, this one is adapted. You see the first paragraph actually is a little bit different, but actually the examples, you see the photos given, and then the major content actually are the same. So this one is adapted. Okay, but if you really have read this article before, I think it definitely will help you. Then I will show you another example. This one is 2012 DSE Part B. It's about book. It's about book. Back to Him of the Tiger Mother. Okay, and this book is published in 2011. Actually, you can find a free PDF version for this book. Okay, if you read this book before, definitely it will help you. Okay, so it talks about the Chinese mom. Okay, so you see the Chinese mom. Okay, description and some features. Okay, if you are interested now, you can actually click the button and you will find the whole version of this book. Okay, so these are 3 examples. So if you are preparing for reading. So you're encouraged to expose to different resources, different text types, different topics. Okay, so these are something about paper 1. For paper 2, there are also 2 parts. Part A, 10%, and Part B, 15%. Part A is compulsory. Suggested words, 300. If you look at the paper, it's written on 200. But I suggest you write more than that. Normally, it's our guided writing. They will give you instructions or even subtitles. Okay, and for part B, 15%, and it's you have to choose 1 from 8 topics given. Okay, suggested words about 500. Okay, if you look at the paper, that's 400 written. Okay, but you're encouraged to write more. See whether you can tell me the 8 themes now. Okay. Okay, now maybe you tell me it's about drama, story, social issues, debate, sports, communication, etc. Okay, everyone knows the topics, or candidates know them. Okay, so but how to prepare for that? Okay, so let me show you our table. Okay, so from this table is about the average score by modules from 2012 to 2019. So you will see the top 3 themes. The first one is debating, and second one is social issues, and top 3 is popular culture and workplace, poem, and sports communication, drama, and short stories. It seems for those who attempt short stories normally have lowest mark. Okay, so this is for your reference. There's another table about the standard deviation. Standard deviation, if the numbers are smaller, okay, it means it's more stable. Okay, for example, short stories. Just now you remember, it normally have low marks and it's very stable. It means every year candidates get low score for short stories. Okay. And let's look at social issues and debating. Do you remember that they have high average marks? They have high average marks, but their number of standard deviation actually is small. So it means it's stable. Every year, students get high marks for these 2 modules. So you can think about choosing these 2. So apart from the standard deviation and average mark, there's one more thing you need to consider, that is your interest. For example, if you are really interested in sports communication, you know much about sports, you can describe the details, and you know the terminology about in sports, definitely you can choose this in your part B. Okay, so this is for paper 2. So the themes, when you're at school, okay, we will teach according to this list. So debating, social issues, and workplace, and in this way. But if you're really interested in short stories, definitely you can try. Okay, and for the first 3, you see I highlighted, and most of the time, they are in the way of argumentation. Okay, for debating, social issues, workplace communication, you need to have a good argumentative skills. And what's more, these 3 themes are the topics for SBA Part B in our school. Okay, SBA Part B. Normally, we will ask you to introduce a social issue or a debate or workplace communication. So you should be able to describe and talk about these 3 issues. Okay. And for the writing text type, just now I have mentioned argumentation is the most common text type, and it's easy to score high due to its clear structure and students' familiarity, and it can be in all sorts of forms, not just essays, Okay, it can be in the form of article, letter to the editor, editorial, speech, debate speech, letter to authority, to list a few. You should know the difference between all these text types. For example, do you know the difference between letter to the editor and editorial? They're totally different. One is letter. Actually, editorial is more like an article. Okay, so we are going to learn all these text types. If you are doing preparation, you can search for these text types and prepare. And we also have informal letters, leaflet, report, proposal, review, and recount, and story, and so on. And this is a list of 2012 to 19 DSE paper 2 writing text type part A for the previous years. Okay, so we will see their articles appeared twice and the rest appeared once. Normally guided like report, poster, photo description, yearbook entry, letter to parents. Okay, these three actually are you need to have to state your opinions and explain. Okay, let's look at part B. For part B, okay, this is a list. Letter to the editor appeared 7 times. Okay, it means every year. Okay, article for school magazine, also every year we will have this text type. For story is a special case because for story, one of the modules, every year you need to write a story. Okay, and editorial also is 6 times. Article for newspaper 4 times, and blog entry 3. Letter to authority, letter of suggestions, letter to the subordinates, speech to students, debate speech, and so on. Okay, so you can prepare for your writing according to these lists, this one and then the previous ones. Okay, now let's move on to paper 3. Paper 3, 30%, you remember, okay? Part A, 15%, and Part B, also 15%. So actually, I suggest you do more practice about paper 3, Part A. You see 15%, okay? And actually, you know Part A is about listening tasks, okay? You really can practice, and it's possible to have full mark for this part because it's very objective. It's not like writing paper 2. Okay, it's very difficult to get full marks. But for paper 3 part A, it's possible to get full mark. You just need a lot of practice. Okay, and it's compulsory. The highest level. For part B, there are 2 parts, B1 and B2. You will choose either B1 or B2. For school, actually, we strongly suggest you take B2. So for S4 and S5, you are not provided with B1 data file. Okay, the same, you need to complete 3 writing tasks, and the highest level you can get is level 4 and 5 star. So if you want to improve your listening, definitely you can download some papers, for example, CE papers or A-level papers, SD Pass papers. But if you are looking for something fun, definitely you can go to audiobook. Okay, just go to Amazon and then you will find Amazon audiobooks. Choose a category, choose a theme that you're interested. For example, history or health or about food. You can search, then you will find the audiobook. I find a lot of books are free, so you can download them. And another one app I would like to introduce is podcast. You'll also find a lot of themes and topics. Some are about news, some about true crimes if you're interested. So you can download this and explore. And for our school, we suggest you listen to 6-minute English because you can download these files into your phone. Okay, so even if there's no Wi-Fi, you can download these files and you can listen to them in Scientific American English, just 60 seconds, and South China Morning Post or National Geographic podcast. Okay, so you can explore the podcast, and then I think it will definitely help you if you start